Hey, Kevin here, Top 100 Financial Advisor, two-time author, one-time bestseller, and we are here to talk about the stock market. Today, I'll keep it short and sweet. I'll be a preacher on Super Bowl Sunday. We're going to get up and out of here in a brief moment of time. But I want to tell you about the adage of sell in May and go away. This has been, and may still be, a Wall Street adage where most wealthy investors and even retail investors like us say, look, it's May. We're going to sell our stuff. This period of the year isn't all that great, and we'll come back once the summer is over, let's say September or so. Then we'll invest at that point because I'm going to make most money. Also, I'm going to sell all my stocks, keep it in cash, and go vacation, enjoy myself, and not have to be worried about what happens in the stock market. That's what the adage was for. It originated in London, in that area where those people, apparently it gets hot in London. I haven't been there in the summer, so they go off to the countryside and then they come back, and that's when they get back into investing. Now, there is some evidence as to why this may be something you want to consider. The reason being, and I'll pull this up so I don't misquote the numbers here. So when you divide out the calendar year, you can see that throughout the entire year, we know on average, stock market is going to give you somewhere between 10 or 7 and 10%. However, it's not exactly even throughout the year where you're getting, a constant percentage every single month. That's not the case. So on average, the Dow in the top 10 years from November to April was, again, November to April was 27.5%. So in the top 10 years, that's what the stock market averaged from November to April. When you compare that from May to October, that return is only 2.9%. So a lot of people, again, say, look, if I know I can make on average from November to April, my 27.5%, or I know I'm going to do really well between November and April, I'm going to go and get that, and I'm just going to skip the little 2.9% gain. And that's assuming, again, that's the top years where those from May to, I'm looking at the article here, from May to October, it doesn't tend to be great during that time. So why invest? Why just get what I can get? I know I'm going to get that return somewhere around that return. I know it's going to be the best part of the year, and just leave. That on paper makes sense. However, you know how I am, you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to invest straight through and not be concerned about what part of the year is going to be best and pulling my money out for any reason. We don't do that over here. We are consistent. We invest every month. We invest every week. Whatever the process is, or whatever your time frame is, we stay consistent and we make sure that we make any adjustments at the 6-month mark or at the 1-year mark. Again, consistency is key. But they pulled out another good stat that I thought was incredible. So one of the guys citing the article, this is from CNBC, it's a cover story there, CNBC.com, and they say they calculated that if you had invested $1 million from November to April, going all the way back to 1896. Oh, they went back a ways. So 1896, you invested that $1 million from November through April. Just you kept doing it during those periods only. You would have walked away with $164.4 million. That's a lot of money. It's also a lot of time too. However, if you're like me and say, look, I don't care what the market does right now, I'm investing in quality, I'm investing in index funds, I'm going to keep it pushing, and you left the money alone, investors who stay all year long would have got $672.6 million. So 164 through the best times, which was November through April, or you could have left stuff alone, which I've been telling y'all to do, right? I said that last year when the market was dropping, I said, hey, leave it alone. You can leave it alone, you can keep investing, but pulling out is not an answer, right? So in this case, you would have had $672 million, assuming you were even, we could even go back that far, especially me, because I don't know if we was free. Well, actually, technically, we was free. That's a conversation for another day. But $672 million by standing still, by being patient, investing the entire year. Now, the other thing you want to know and be, I don't think the word is concern, but note is that even in, and I just want to make sure I get the times right, from May to October, I believe, even during those times, you still made money. It was 2.9%. It's not great. It's not 27% either, but it's still money. And that money still compounds. And that's the key phrase. So even though, and it depends on who you talk to, some economists and analysts think May to October this year is not going to be great. They'd say we've done so much now, and the economy can overheat, and things won't go the way we expect them to. Therefore, the stock market is going to fall. That's a fair case. I could also tell you that everybody's pinked up. We're getting these vaccines, and everything's going to explode between now and the rest of the year. Don't know. Either one of those cases are you can make a very, very good case. I could do 2 separate videos on the positive and negative cases that could happen. So, I did wanna let you know about what that is, why people are saying it, and why people tend to do it. My personal position is I'm staying put. If the market were to fall between May and October, let's say it does. So what? I'm going to continue to pick up all the stuff that had been good anyway, right? If I'm a fan of Google, I know I picked it as my breakout stock, the one that nobody was really talking about last year, even though it's Google. I'm getting it anyway. Y'all see my portfolio on public. If it falls, especially if it's in my long term, so Google, Amazon, don't have Facebook on public, but I do own Facebook. Any good company, and we know it's good, and it just happens to take a dip just because everything is dipping, your boy is still buying, right? I'm not going to change that position unless it's something that had been falling since last year. That's when we're going to make those decisions. And you'll see me do that in June, which I was going to do anyway, right? So you always want to have that plan and don't let any adage kind of throw you off. And one of the fun things about the article is that it said if your financial advice rhymes, or if, usually if you have a financial advice tip that rhymes, you probably shouldn't follow it. So he might be right a good chunk of the time. So you want to be careful about that. If the market falls, that is probably going to be the biggest reason, unless something comes out with the regulatory space or vaccines or something like that. But I wouldn't be concerned about it. The market, I would know this though. While I would not be concerned about it, I would expect, and this happens generally, we know this, right? That I would generally be prepared that the market may not move in the way that it did over the last few months. So from November to April, you may not see the same type of gains that you're about to see now. So just be aware of that. That just could be a thing. So if you made a lot of money in a company, you might not make that much money or the same amount of money during the next like 6 months or so. So just have that out there. Again, it's not going to deter me. It should not deter you either. All right. So as we get ready to close, the new book is available on Amazon now for pre-order. I will put the link in the description above. From Burning to Blueprint, how to recreate Black Wall Street, or rebuilding Black Wall Street after a century of silence. It's about Tulsa Race Massacre, about Black generational wealth. You are going to enjoy it. If you check out my Twitter, you'll see a long tweet thread about some stuff that you really want to read. But I've got some excerpts from the book, and I think that you are going to like it. So make sure you check that out. We're trying to make this a bestseller. I don't know how I'm going to intro myself here pretty soon. Y'all can put suggestions in the chat. But I'll make sure that book is in the link above. If you're on the email list, you'll start to hear about it. I know there are people on the wait list, so you're going to hear more about that here pretty soon. Releases on May 18th, so you want to get your copy on May 18th. All right, that's it for me. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.